Okay, now the bigger picture. Is right-wing racism on the rise? Here's what Joan Walsh, Slaw.com wrote, quote, Limbaugh and Beck continue to ratchet up their alarming and increasingly racist hatred for the president. She goes on to say, and look for this kind of crazy to escalate with the party base. Rush Limbaugh responded on his radio show just a short time ago.
President Obama is so race-obsessed, he writes a book about the father he never really knew, subtitled A Story of Race and Inheritance. He marries a woman who's lucky enough to get into Princeton, but writes a book about how she's always an outsider in white culture. And the two of them sit in Reverend Wright's hate temple of black liberation theology for 20 years, and I am the one with the race problem.
Joan Walsh joins us from San Francisco. Joan, you know, obviously we've got morons like Limbaugh calling Obama an angry black man, super morons like Glenn Beck saying he's a racist and he hates white people. I'm going to look at the good news in this, because to dignify them even further is embarrassing, in that I think they are hurting their party. And I think we are a nation tired of hate. Yes, there's always going to be a fringe, but if I'm a Democrat, if I'm President Obama, the more they do this, the better for the Democrats, the better for the good guys. Am I just looking for a silver lining here?
No, I see the same silver lining, Donnie. I think you're right. I think you and Tamron and I all know that racial progress in this country really is a two-step forward, occasionally one-step back process. And we elected a black president, and it was an awesome time for all of us. Many Republicans, even if they didn't vote for him, were very proud. And now, especially as the rubber hits the road and he's endorsing policies that some people disagree with, it's not racist to disagree with him, but some forces who've always been opposed to him are really using race to vilify him.
But Joan, if it's hurting the party, let me ask you, why then aren't we hearing from maybe those who are more moderate within the Republican Party, or some of those who are elected in office and speaking out against this, admonishing Rush Limbaugh and others like Glenn Beck who are saying these things? If they want the mic, it's there.
Yeah, and you know, Tamron, we've talked about that before. I even wrote about that in my blog, and the whole phenomenon of the birthers, which I believe is somewhat related. There's a racial tinge there too. I'm afraid that too many Republican leaders are ambivalent about it. They don't really believe these things themselves, but they don't want to alienate their base, the fringe of their base, let's say, by coming out and saying, stop it. It took Michael Steele, who happens to be African American, until yesterday to say that the birthers are crazy and the president is a citizen. So they're trying to have it both ways. Look, we all know this is a party lost in the wilderness. They don't know if the answer is to play to their base, bring out a Sarah Palin, throw the base red meat around race and division, or what the answer might be to move a little bit towards the center and play for the independents. We all know that independents are a really important constituency. Obama won them overwhelmingly, but the party doesn't seem to have leaders right now who have any faith in moving towards those independents and away from this really kind of Cro-Magnon divisive, really retro garbage.
Joan, you know what? The Republicans are really stupid, because if any one of them was smart, Mitt Romney named them, this is the moment in time, because a lot of the independents who voted for Obama are swinging dramatically in the other direction. The most recent polls show us that somebody could grab the mantle right now in the Republican Party, because you don't need the fringe base to get elected, and say, you know what, this has got to stop. I'm a new kind of Republican, and that's what people are waiting for. And if I was running any of these guys' campaigns, that's where I would go right now.
I agree with you. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's Romney. I don't know if it's Huckabee. I don't see it being Sarah Palin, but who knows? Stranger things maybe have happened, but it really would be a wonderful time for a kind of race speech, a kind of resetting of what the party stands for, and somebody big with big ambitions to distinguish himself or herself from this rabble and from people like Limbaugh. But you know, Donnie, what we see is occasionally people will, even Michael Steele again, will stand up to Limbaugh, and he smacks them down, and then they run cowering into the corner crying like little puppies. And you know, they're afraid of him. I mean, he went on to call me the magic honky today. I'm proud of that. The president is the magic Negro. I'm the magic honky. I mean, you know, it's too much for me.
Well,
there must be a more magical
slurs, I'm going to throw a
honky.
Jewish slur and call Mr. Limbaugh putz. I don't think anybody's ever called him that before.
Putz. I think he's a putz.
I think that's the best
I'm
word.
with you.
Okay. I bet nobody's ever said putz on MSNBC.
I don't know what it means, but I know it's not good. All right, Joan, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much. Reach out to you on Twitter as well. Thanks, Joan.
You.